spirit, you want more. No fairy dust, no happy end, just how the nightmare really went. Turn it up, don't ask why. This ain't stories, this is true to life.
Good evening, everybody. It's Jeremy, and welcome to another wonderful episode of Twisted Tales. As always, this is one of the official podcasts of the Maine Paranormal and Horror Convention, and I'm very proud to say that with all my heart. But without further ado, I'd like to bring on my special guest this evening. She is a paranormal investigator, former EMT, and the backbone and producer of All Access Network, Ms. Gwen Johns. Come on in.
Hey, Jeremy.
Good evening, Gwen. How are you doing?
I'm good. I've been looking forward to this all day. I'm on many different shows and have been guests, but I tell you what, I love me some Jeremy here. Me and him are actually good friends, for you guys that don't know. And I'm just excited. This is fun.
You know what? It is fun for me too. And hard to believe that today is actually my 6-month anniversary of Twisted Tales. The very first episode was January 21st earlier this year. Oh my God, 6 months.
You know what? And when I found out is a couple hours ago. Everybody knows we have, on Wicked Wednesday. Yes, yep. I'm plugging it. I do a bunch of shows, and it didn't occur to me till like the end of Shane McClain's show when I was about to, and do Nathaniel's, and I was like, oh my God, you know what? Because I would have done something very special, and I apologize for that. Yeah. And, congratulations, Jeremy, because it has gone super fast. He has had some wonderful guests. I can't even name all of them because there's just been so many great ones, but he's had some really good people. He's had some, you're going to have to help me. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. I think that he had not been on, but maybe one other U.S. podcast. Am I right?
You are correct, Craig Dowsett. Yes. I also had Bill Perry on. He was an amazing guest. Sonia Thompson. See, I got it right this time. From The Walking Dead. She was amazing as well. Yep. And James Stokes was amazing. And as well as Lee Triana earlier on in the month of July. July has been a banger of a month as well. We've got a lot more to come, and I appreciate every single guest that I've had from my very first one, which is your co-host and actually the host of Paranormal Unveiled, Mr. Nathaniel Elwell. He was my very first, and God bless. I'll have many more to come after this. And tonight has been a special night because I actually get to have you on and pull you out from behind the scenes and put you on here. So to give everybody some backstory about Gwen, how did you get involved in the paranormal to begin with?
So I'll tell you like this. When I was little, and I'm of course, you can tell by the accent, I'm in South Carolina, and we were in the Bible Belt, or part of it. And I grew up where you didn't talk about paranormal stuff. So when I was little, I'll just tell it like it is. I could see stuff and know stuff. And it was odd because I would say, I was a kid. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to say, hey, that tire's going to go flat or something. And my parents would be, shh. Well, one night we had some good friends. I was supposed to spend the night with them. And for whatever reason, I was little. I don't even remember why I didn't spend the night with them, but I looked forward to it. And my mom didn't let me go. And of course, I'm a kid. I pitched a fit, and, then I finally went to bed, and I woke up in the middle of the night screaming because I dreamed their house was on fire. Well, my mom come in, oh, Jen, stop. You're just acting up, blah, blah, how that goes. So then early the next morning, I call it, I call it the butt crack of dawn is what I call it. But my mother woke me up, and I'll never forget it. And it stuck with me all my life. She put her finger in my face. And when the Southern mama puts her finger in your face, you know business. Okay. And she called me by my whole name. And she said, you never tell anybody anything like this ever again. You keep your mouth shut. And I'll be real with you. That stuck with me most of my life. So I've been having paranormal stuff and whatever else happened to me. I'm assuming most of my life because they used to talk about how I had imaginary friends and stuff like that. Right. But up until I never really admitted it to anybody up until maybe a handful of years ago. And then now mind you, I was a paramedic all those years. Imagine how cool that was in a way to us now. But a handful of years ago, I don't remember exact amount. I said, you know what? I'm tired of worrying about what people say. I don't care anymore. I want to do this. This is what I'm gonna do. If I know something, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna live my best life. I saw where now my best friend, my chosen sister, Luciana Brown, and her husband Matt Brown were teaching a class at the technical college near me, and I tried to sign up for it, and the people over it told me, "Oh, you're too late. You can't." And I was like, "Okay." So the next time they offered it, I was like, but I messaged Litriana like the next week because I just felt like I needed to, and I was like, "Hey, I tried to sign up for your class. They told me it was too late." And she was like, "Oh no, you could have come, but now it's I was like, "Well, I will be there. I will be the first one." I went ahead and paid my money, got my spot, and I was ready. But a little twist to it. A lady that I call mom now, and I usually wear her ashes, but my shoulder's a little messed up from surgery,
Right.
so it's hard for me to put my necklace on. Her mother, who was my second mother, I asked her, I said, "Okay, I have to ask you, do you know," and her name is Judy Terry, and Litriana Terry Brown, that was her maiden name. She said, "That's my mama." I had worked with her mother in the ER, and when I was a paramedic, also, I used to take patients to her, and we were really close when we worked together. So I only got my best friend, my chosen sister, I got my second mother and a brother out of Matt, and of course, took the class, and it was like I knew what I was doing already. It just came to me so fast. It was like almost like I already knew what I was doing. And here we go. Here we are now, years later, and it's just what I love. I do absolutely love it.
No, it definitely, I know you do. And so going back to your EMT days, did you have experiences in the paranormal while you were doing EMT work?
Yes. And before that, I worked in the hospital. I worked up on pediatrics and NICU. If you don't know, that's neonatal intensive care unit. And then I worked in the ER. And that's kind of how I got on the ambulance, working in the ER. But yes, I would have experiences in the hospital. I would have experience with, especially if a patient died, I would see them die. Or if I happened to walk into the room and they were deceased, I would sometimes, not every single time, I would see their spirit there and then their body there. And all that time I would accidentally slip up sometimes, especially when I was a paramedic and we were, at their house or whatever,
Right.
because they would be like lost, for you guys that don't know, if have never experienced it, sometimes when people, when they die, they don't know they're dead yet. It takes them, sometimes they know right away. Sometimes they have no clue. Sometimes they are standing there looking at themselves. No, they don't know. And I would basically go, "Hey, like me and you, standing next to each other, and go treat them just like that, and be like, look, everything's okay. I would explain it to them. And sometimes my partner would come in and go, "You're crazy. You're crazy as hell." So yeah, I did the entire time. And it was odd. And like I said, back then I didn't admit anything to anybody but really myself, and kind of didn't then. Sometimes I would be like, "Ah, that didn't happen," So,
But
yeah.
it did happen. I myself work in nutritional services, but when you're clairvoyant working in a hospital, you're going to have experience in critical care unit, and seeing people's, souls elevate out of their body, and when they pass away, and go into the light behind them. And that was an eye-opening experience. I'm sure you've definitely seen a lot of things like that. Spirits in the ED, like maybe they passed away, and like you just see them hanging around in some of the rooms, and it can be a bit unnerving. I've actually seen all sorts of individuals as far as the correlation between working in a hospital and be able to see spirits is definitely crazy. So when you got involved with Litriana and Matt and you took the class, where did you do your first actual paranormal investigation?
Oh wow! Oh, I didn't know you were going to ask me. Here, you're going to make my brain work. I may have this a little off, or maybe backwards, but I believe the first time I truly investigated, we did a like exercise that was at the school.
Okay.
I think it was, but it was haunted also. So, but I remember, I believe it was the first class I went to, I had an experience because I actually went into the bathroom and the weirdest things happened to me in the bathrooms, to be real with you. I went in and I didn't think I heard anybody come in, but I heard the door on the stall, like, you know how it'll not slam like for, but if you open and you shut it, it'll bump, bump. You know how I'm talking about, especially ones that aren't new. Well, I come out, there's nobody there, and I actually looked under because I didn't hear anybody come in, and I didn't see anybody. Well, I go out and I didn't say anything, but then yes, we did investigate there, and we picked up evidence and stuff like that, and basically, I saw a farmer. And I didn't say anything, and then it came over one of the pieces of equipment. I don't remember which one they had out, like, you know, teaching us with, but
Right.
yeah, I remember because I saw the farmer because he had the old overalls and that kind of stuff and the little hat and the things. And then it said something about a farm. And I wish I had written this down, you know, it's probably on my evidence somewhere back in the day, but yeah. So I think that was my first with people that I knew were in the know also. So that was unique to me.
Now, what about your first investigation at like maybe a historical property in your area?
I tell you what, this may not be historical, but there is a place called Badwell Cemetery. It's a French Huguenot cemetery. That was one of the most intense places. And that's where I figured out I had different abilities because it's a wall around it. It's really old. It's a wall around it. There's a body of water near it. There's a pump house. You're in the middle of the woods. There's a wall down. And even more so now since we had that hurricane coming. But at that time, the gate that you go in, if you went in, it was made of metal. And the inside of it, they had it bolted to the stone. It was a stone wall. But part of the stone wall was down. Well, the first time I went there, I went over the stone wall. I didn't go through the gate. Well, coming out now, and I had what was going on with me. I have different, you know, I hear, see, it depends. It depends on what's going on. And I guess what they want me to know. But when I came out of the gate, I realized for an hour that
Oh.
And I did not know what. Yeah, it numbed me psychically, I guess you want to call it, for an hour. So I never walked through that gate again backwards, or I always went over the wall.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have found that certain cemeteries and graveyards and things of that nature, you can do a lot of interesting investigations there. I mean, it's not necessarily that the people who are the spirits in there are sticking around there because they don't usually stick around, but you do get visiting spirits that come in and wander through and try to find like sometimes they try to find the stones of their loved ones and things like that. That does actually happen.
They do, and sometimes it's the person themselves that travel back. Yeah, I think they come back to see who is coming to visit. To be real with you, I really do. There's also at that one cemetery, there's an elemental that lives there. That some people have reportedly seen an ogre on the property, and I believe it's that elemental trying to scare them off, so they're presenting themselves as an ogre, or it may be an ogre. Just who knows? But on that property, it's very interesting. I would love if you ever get down this way. I would absolutely love to take you there. You would like that place.
My goal is to south and go check the there. A little bit of Gettysburg, and we'll get into that later because I know you're going there tomorrow evening. I think it is when you guys are heading down there.
We are leaving. Yes.
Yeah. So I was looking in. You are the lead investigator of something called Paranormal PROS. You want to talk about Paranormal PROS and kind of explain that because I've seen it pop up before.
Okay, we as now Litriana and Matt teach the class, but I assist in any way, you know. I help them with the investigations and everything, but Paranormal PROS is actually the team name of a lot of the students that have gone through. Now we're not super busy. We do have, sometimes we have people call and need help, and of course we go, of course. But when we get together as a team, it is Paranormal PROS. We also do it under Family Spirit International, which is actually the parent company of All Access, which is the podcast network we're on. I think that got left out of my bio, but besides Matt and Lee, who they founded it, I am the one that's over. But that's about who it is. We don't have a huge team and all that, but we have a small little, what I call my boo crew, and we get together and we'll investigate. And I don't want to say for practice, but we'll go this and that place. And like I said, if anybody needs help, of course we're there. All they got to do is call.
I mean, you don't need a big team. I think big teams kind of take away from the actual core energy that needs to be utilized. I mean, having a few members that have different abilities and all come together is probably the most important thing, because you need to have somebody who's technical. You need to have somebody who's old school. You need to have somebody on the medium set. See the swirly up on both of us. I don't know what the hell's going on, but the gremlins have invaded the show. Hello, gremlins. Thanks for coming in.
Exactly. I will tell you, I haven't spun on my side, but I know Jeremy's glitching. And can I tell it, Jeremy? Our friend Christina had her show this morning, Paramystic Podcast, which is part of Wicked Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern is when that was. And Jeremy, she was giving away readings, 1-question readings today, because a lot of people had donated and helped her, because she has medical issues and the bills were just overwhelming because she can't go and do what she used to and even do as many readings. So Jeremy popped in and he asked a question, and the way Christina does it is she basically gets in touch with your spirit guides, and they help her to know about you, even though she kind of knows Jeremy. And at that moment, Jeremy had a real intense thing. And when he's ready, he'll tell you about it one day. But he had a real intense thing happen. And ever since then, he's been feeling a little interesting today. But then we get on the show, and every time we start talking about certain things, he'll glitch or I'll glitch. And I even started, so it's been, if you hear it glitching, and I have to ask again of the question, just forgive us, but we are having gremlins as we normally do. So
okay, you know what? The gremlin is a special guest co-host tonight. We're just going to call him the invisible co-host, because why not? It's kind of funny, you know. So Family Spirit International, and that's actually, and you guys also have the podcast as Paranormal Family Spirit as well. Well, did that start around the same time, or did you guys have the actual paranormal, and then it evolved into the podcast, or how did all that go about?
Okay, Litriana wrote a book called Family Spirit. It's about her journey and her family. That's her first book. But she has had a podcast, and I'm going to get this wrong, for at least 13 years. Now, I think originally it started out as one of the radio shows. I may be wrong, but I don't have the timeline exactly right. I
think you're right. I think I talked about that with her. Yeah.
Right. So, but back in the day, I know a lot of the people that have been in the paranormal a long time used to have radio shows and stuff like that. But she had one for many, many years. When we met, I would go on sometimes, and then, I know you haven't asked yet, but that's kind of how the network started. But she got tired of the way things were being run, the way she was having to do it. So she created All Access Network, which is under Family Spirit International. Right. And then, like I said, she's the CEO. Her and her husband, Matt, own it. But I do the producing for all the shows. And we went from one show, which was hers, to last count that I can count, and I will say this, not every show is every week. Some shows are whenever the person can do them. Some shows are more like pre-recorded. And some shows have not even started yet. But last count, I think we had 24 or 25. And that was before I started my new one 2 Mondays ago. So yeah, we have like let's say estimated at 25 shows. So we grew from 1 to this in 2 years because it's our anniversary. I believe a couple weeks ago, but I think we glitched on it. So because we're just really busy. So
And I agree with you. And so you did get into the question where I was going to say, how did you produce All Access Networks? You kind of jumped on it. It was fine with me because so is podcasting always something that you wanted to get involved in, or did you just get pulled in because of the association with Leitron and Matt?
Well, I'll tell you how it happened. Years ago, like I said, I was a paramedic, and I was injured on the job, and I had to retire. So I was basically for years just kind of coasting around, couldn't figure out what to do, couldn't go back to work full time. And then, like I said, I took the class with Lee and those, and Lee Triana, sorry, I call her Lee too a lot. Like I said, I took the class, and it was like we were supposed to be together at this time of our lives, and we just clicked. And now she's my chosen sister. Her husband Matt's my chosen brother. Her mom did pass away a couple years ago, and it broke our hearts. But she's still with us every day, and we're just family. And we created our little family. Like I said, now Lee CEO, Matt and Lee own it, but I do all the producing, and all of our podcasters are family. If you've never watched us, or if you've never gotten lucky enough to see us in person together, we are just like a goofy family. We really are. And the pictures, yeah, we really are. But they are our family. But yeah, it just kind of, I never thought about it. But like I said, it just kind of fell into the lap. Like I said, I used to be on Lee's show sometimes with her. And Blaine also. And then kind of when this happened, it honestly, but it's something I was meant to do because I'm not a braggy person, but I will say this. It is what I'm supposed to do because I'm actually somehow, without even trying, I'm good at it. It is second nature to me. I know how to schedule. I know how to do whatever. And to be real with you, we've had a couple podcasts or a few come and go. But I've never fell out with somebody, fought with them, drama. We don't do that. Right. But some just end. But I'll be real with you. We are getting bigger and better every day. We're trying to expand, and it's great. But no, I never thought about it. It just, that's what makes it even better. I wasn't, out there trying to push it and start it. It just happened. And,
gee, I wonder how that story goes. I kind of got hit with that myself. No, just kidding. No, so I got to tell you, and this is definitely going to be from the bottom of my heart, you do an amazing job on this network, keeping all of us ridiculous people under control, keeping our times going, and keeping the flow of the content going from Monday through Friday and even into the beyond. And I know that you have a lot of help from Sean. Sean does an amazing job too as your co-producer when you need him to jump in. Hey David, we're gonna get to you guys in a second. I just want to finish up here because
Okay, now I want to do a shout out for Sean. I got to say this. His name is Sean Ellis. If you guys don't know, he has a show on Sunday nights. It's Eternal X Wolfpack Paranormal. He basically he's my backup. Now I do all the ads and stuff, but I'm telling you what, I could call Sean right now and say, hey dude, can you pop in? And he would, if at all possible. He is my backup. He makes it possible for me to travel. And like when I had surgery, he helped out, and Jeremy is bringing him on for his own show. I was going to split the show with him. But Jeremy said, I'm going to have him on. And I was like, okay, as long as he's getting some attention as what he's out there doing it. I'm happy. But yes, he is. We actually met on a podcast, which is kind of funny to me. I don't know why, but we met on a podcast and we became friends. And I used to be on his show a lot. Right now, I'm just so busy. He's on a break right now, but I still pop in. We will do a fun roundtable sometimes. Jeremy usually pops in with us, but I got to give it to him. Got to give him. He's probably not watching right now because I don't see any smart comments or him laughing,
No.
and stuff, which he does. But yeah, I got to say, if you guys don't know Sean, check out his show. He's on like break right now, but he does help me out tremendously. Honestly, he really does, and I appreciate him.
No, I agree. He does a tremendous job helping you out when you need him, and he has an amazing show on Sunday evenings with the Expo Fact Paranormal as well. The entire network has a lot of tremendous shows, obviously, and you guys have been working on revitalizing Mondays, especially with your new show that you've been doing with David, who just popped up on here, called Uncensored. So, if you want to talk a little bit about your new venture, though, go right ahead. I'd love to hear some more.
I'd love to. Okay, so yeah, there's Lynn. He's one of our guys too. Okay, so we are always looking to not only do paranormal. We are not just a paranormal podcast network. We want to do other stuff, and we do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But David, funny enough, came on one of the podcasts, and me and him hit it off, and we were like, talking, and we were like, so we need to do this. And he's like, yeah, let's call it Uncensored. And I was like, well, there are limits, David, which David, I know you're listening. I think you're still listening. And David likes to push the limits. And we are at 6:00 on Mondays, Eastern time right now. But we are going to try to do it a little later. That way, if we do something a little goofy, and we have a special thing, and I don't want to give it away, but we have a game that we play the last 20 minutes. Yeah, it is a wild show. But David is an actor and a director. And he, I am the producer and his co-host, but he knows a lot of folks that are unique, not just actors, but he knows a lot of different folks, and we're not going to blow that out of the water. I will tell at the end who we're going to have next week, because I'm just excited. But yeah, so now we are 2 shows in. The first one, we had an actor, and I can't say his last name, but his John. Go back and watch it. Last week we had Duke Lott, who wrote a book, and David is actually going to be acting and directing that movie. And they're going to be filming, I believe, in October. Hopefully I can say that, because I just did. But anyway, he talked about it. Yeah, he talked about it. And yeah, like Dave said, I'm gonna pop it up one more time. It is exciting. We play a game at the end, and we you'll see, we make good co-hosts. Yep, he said, yep. We make good co-hosts because we kind of feed off each other, and we have a good time, and we enjoy it, and the guests seem to like the chemistry, I guess you want to call it. And you guys check it out. 6:00 Mondays right now. We are going to move the time sooner or later, but I've got 3 weeks of traveling to do before I try to move too much, at least. So
Right.
yeah, check it out. It's very different, but I gotta say, if you have ever watched Halloween, Judith Myers, Sandy Johnson is going to be on there Monday, and Jeremy's sitting there going, I'm gonna hurt you, I'm gonna hurt you.
You know what? It's cool, because I love the fact that everybody's doing a little something different.
Yep.
I have many irons in the fire that I'm going to be switching the show up a lot and doing sorts of different stuff too. So, that's why we have created this Wicked Wednesdays. It's been an amazing experience, and I just love having all of the people that we have on this day, on this night, with Christina in the morning, and then with Shane, and then with Nathaniel and yourself. Much at the end together is perfect of the shows for the network.
It is. And we have a lot of great folks, but being that I'm a part of Wicked Wednesday, it makes it even more fun. And don't get me wrong, no day is better than the other ones, but we kind of team up on Wicked Wednesday, and it makes it I don't even know how to put it. It just makes it energizes all of us to the point where we feel like we need to put more energy in it. And Jeremy has the best energy. He's going to blush, but he has the best energy. He can call me or message me in the morning and say, hey sis, what's up? And I'm like, hey Jeremy, hi, are you having a good day? And if he's not having a good day, he can help me get up. If I'm not having a good day, he can, and it's, and it's like, Okay, he'll ask me tonight. All right, when you gonna have the ad for next week?
Here is our this creepy bastard right here is making everybody look tonight. Nice little critter over here because God only knows I had enough of these things hanging around.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. He's glitching, but he, if you didn't know, he had a little energy boost this morning, and he's been messing up the energy today. So that's what happened. Oh yeah, and David is saying we do have a pro wrestler coming, and Jeremy used to be a wrestler. We do. We have a few. Yeah, we do. So we're trying to put it out there like you are, and just do it a little different. And being that, you know, we're co-hosting together, we're having it, but you know what, we're trying to get bigger and better and do more interesting, not just more interesting, but more diverse kind of folks. Well, so I
definitely noticed a shift as far as the energy across all of the days, and I feel like everybody's been elevating their game. And yes, I am knock on wood to this day, because it was a brainchild of guys that just became this bigger and bigger thing, and it's been cool because it's worked. And then when everybody else has been like, hey, we need to up our game, and now the network is getting so much, the shows are getting better, the intros are getting better, the music is getting better. It seems like the energy is getting better for everybody, and that's the most important thing. That's the most important thing, is that the network gets bigger and better, and the more we show that there's a lot of people want to see, and then we get the radicals who pop in once a month with Creepy Chronicles, which I can't wait to see them again on Friday, because I think they have a show this coming Friday on the on
they
Creepy
do.
Chronicles.
And it's going to be interesting, because if you guys that don't know, I'm going to be in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania at the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash, and they have a show, so I'm actually going to be producing it from the bash. Which I won't be on the show, but yeah, so you know what, I will say it, I've done podcasts from the beach, on the beach, I've done it from haunted locations, I've done it from camping out, I've done it in the snow, I've done it in the rain, I've done it everywhere. I've done it where I had to hold my computer just like this at a campground office outside because I couldn't get another signal. So you know what, we always make it happen. Yeah, we always make it happen. I know it's been crazy, but we always make it work. And Friday I'll be doing it, and then I believe that Sean is coming on like right after they end and have a live investigation. So we're doing that too. You know, we do that when we can. Nice. Yeah, so that's going to be cool.
Yeah, you must be looking forward to going to Gettysburg. Gettysburg is an amazing time. It's an amazing place, and you know, I've been there like 5. And I'm hopefully we'll get a chance to go back. A few events that I have to concentrate and put all my energy into, because I'm going to be representing the network in the upcoming months at a couple of different events coming up. You know, and that's going to be huge. You know,
and for you guys that don't know what I'm talking about, let me pull this poster up, because if you guys have never been to Gettysburg, period, you need to go. It's very intense there, so be prepared, especially if you have any psychic ability, or if you don't, you're going to feel it no matter whether you do or not. But this is what I'm talking about, and you can see all, and this is not everybody that's going to be there. This is just the people that are on the poster. Now, Litriana, she is, you can't see it, but she's down at the lower left corner. Of course, you got the godfather of the paranormal, John Zappis, and you've got a lot of everybody there. I'm going to be real with you, but yeah, that's going to be an awesome event. I went last year, and it was wonderful. It's different. We do get to cut loose a little bit and do karaoke and celebrity bartending and that kind of stuff, and you get to network. Right. And there's just the guest that was on Shane's show, Larry Eisler. We were talking about, hey, I'll get to see you there, and he's like, yeah, I'll get to see you. I mean, because a lot of us, you know, we get to see each other on the screen, but we only get to see each other a couple times a year, if that. And this is one of the biggies. So, Jeremy, I hope you do get to go in the next couple of years, because this is an event where even if you don't get invited to it, if you come, or if you come and get a booth, it is worth it, because not only are you there, all I can explain to you is the hotel there It reminds me of a mall. It's huge, and they book it out every year.
Yeah, they're at the Eisenhower and the Aspire again.
Yeah, it's kind of connected.
When I first started going was in 2018, 2019, when they were at the Wyndham Hotel. It was on the other side of the road from there, and it had an old timey presidential type feel. It was a lot. It was very different than the Aspire and the Eisenhower. Yeah. And then like we've been there, went there for like 3 or 4 years, and then the last time I went was 2 years ago. It was actually 4 years after my dad passed away. I couldn't handle just hanging around the house, and we were already planning on going, so we just went to Gettysburg to be part of the bash. And that's where I got my that's where I got my dad's tattoo, was at the battlefield bash. And you know, it is a great time. You know, Pam and Steve are cool. I've spoken at that event once with my good friend Russ Stiver, who I had on the show earlier this year, and we had a table. We set up a table, and you know, I'm hoping I'll get back there. We'll see what happens. But right now, I have 2 major events that I'm working on up in this neck of the woods, which are going to be huge. You know, so that's what I'm definitely looking forward to right now.
And we're going to talk about that before we end. Yeah. But that's cool. If Steve and Pam are watching, guys, it's always a great event. We're going as a group. It's going to be Litriana, her husband, Matt, myself, Blaine Rohand, and our friend Casey, who doesn't appear on the podcast and stuff, but she's our girl. We always try to take who all we can, but it's going to be fun. We're leaving tomorrow night. Takes about, I want to say about 10-ish hours, but we're going to travel overnight so we didn't have the heat, and that hopefully they'll let me drive some because I don't sleep anyway. And that's a joke between all of us, because we all know that, because that's when I get most of my producing done. So
I know you definitely have with that for sure. You know, so let's dive into your appearance on MonsterQuest, because you know, well, I'm telling you, Twisted Tales, we can go in any direction we want to. It doesn't have to stay linear, and it definitely does not do that. So, you know,
I had an experience.
What was it? Yeah, what was your experience like actually being on MonsterQuest?
Well, I'll tell you, I had a story written down about something that happened to me when I was, it was a time slip. Honestly, they've gotten more and more and more since I've admitted that I have them. But I had a time slip when I was probably between 8 and 10-ish. And I wrote it down for whatever reason. And the History Channel was looking for stories, and a handful of us got our stories accepted that we know by the luck of the draw. And I interviewed, and the lady, Laura Marini, I got to say that, love her. She was on our show not long ago. She was excellent. But that I interviewed, the story was turned in. A couple of weeks later, they said, "Can you do this?" Bam, there it is. Next thing I know, I'm getting a call. "Hey, you're getting on a plane." Okay. So, all right. So I head to Seattle, and we get there early in the morning. We have a couple hours sleep. We get up, we film. I walk into the room, and it's all curtains black, and I meet some awesome people. Some people behind the curtain, some in front. I sit there and I tell my story. I thought it was about an hour. It was 5.5 hours later.
Yep.
And I had told this story in such length that I'm going to have to go and do it again, because what they ended up with, because if you guys don't know about MonsterQuest, they have multiple stories on each episode. So they have to cut it down. But what they did is they took all my information about things, and of course you have a reenactment. The little girl, or the young lady, she was a little bit older, but that's okay. I think it made for a better story. But they did good. The story was good. The house was a little newer, but still great. I was happy with it, but I do make the joke that HD is not nice to females, because you know, we all judge ourselves. But I got to tell you, sitting in front of that, just telling my story, and somebody actually being really interested in it was cool in itself. And then, you know, for those of you who don't know, I never watch anything I do. because I will nitpick myself, including any of the podcasts unless I have to. But I did. I've watched it. Yep, I've watched it 3 times. But I got to say, to the History Channel, to the crew, to everybody, I enjoyed it, and it turned out really well. And one day I will put that story out on my own in length. But they compacted it, but it's a really good story. If you guys hadn't seen it, it is season 5, episode 6. I can't remember the title of it, but you will find out. They explain, which was wonderful, what a time slip is, and they talk about a famous one, and then they go into it. And honestly, it was a great experience. I enjoyed it, and if they called me back for a different story or to even do that one in a different way, I would absolutely jump on it, because it was interesting. It was fun. It was.
Yeah. It sounds like you really enjoyed. I can know there's been talk about when you talk about stuff. It was your experience. It's different than anything I had ever really heard about before, as far as like the time flipping is concerned. But
yep.
I feel you feel like there's a glitch in the machine, because I've seen some weird stuff happening lately, and today was definitely no different, you know. But so you are a co-host for 4 podcasts currently on this network. Monday is 2 of them. Then you have Tuesday, which is Cryptid Nation, and then you have Unveiled with Nathaniel. What do you do differently? What do you do differently to give a different energy for each individual show that you're on?
Well, with Lee and Blaine, who are Family Spirit and Cryptid Nation, that's Monday and Tuesday. It's like I'm gonna call it more like a round table, because we kind of all, pipe in, but we get to experience our either we, sometimes we have a subject, but sometimes, more often we have a guest. And honestly, we love experiencing our guests. Some of them we already know, some we don't. That's more.
Uh-oh. The ghost has hit the machine again. I think I lost my hope. Okay.
And there we go, glitching again.
Hey, there she is. All right.
There I am. So hopefully you understood that was more. Those 2 are more like round tables, where we kind of get to talk with the guest or about the subject, and we kind of, that kind of thing. With Nathaniel, it's more like me and him are friends, and it is his show. I'm his co-host, but the way he approaches things is very different. So it kind of makes for a very different thing. You guys, I'm so sorry. I'm sitting here like this, but it is hot in here. My air doesn't work well, so I'm sitting here trying not to sweat. But Nathaniel has a different energy. He has a different way of approaching stuff. And if you haven't, I'm going to, I always pop everybody, I call them to attention. But the way he analyzes stuff, he has a book where he actually goes and does apps and explains them and analyzes them and stuff. So he's very, and he loves history and stuff. So when we have our guests, he'll talk about stuff like that. And then we have a cute little, he asks them a 3-part question at the end about, and I won't give that away. If you haven't watched the show, you need to go watch it. But it's a little different. And then now that I have one with David, if you're still there, David, I know he'll probably say something smart. He did say, we're going to have, what did he say? We're going to have, at the top of a Ferris wheel on a carnival. Yep. So but we have, I don't know, we have a little way we get the banter that we go back and forth. And like I said, we have different people. It's not paranormal. So far we've had nobody paranormal, but we've just started out. Yep. So it's very different. And I think as far as I feel like, hopefully everybody enjoys it. I am so busy. I will probably start cutting back a little bit on stuff, because with the new show, I kind of feel like I don't want to be out there too much, and people go, oh my God, she's on everything. So I probably will cut back a little bit, but I'm definitely going to keep the one with David because it is different. But I may start maybe taking a show here and there off from some of the other stuff, but we'll see. We'll see how it happens. We'll see how it goes.
But you know what? It's okay because you guys are building a brand with Uncensored. Kind of like I built the brand with Twisted Tales. And and Daniel great with his. And it's amazing how elevated things have got. It really does. And like I said, I can't wait because next weekend, not this weekend, I'm going to be representing the network as well as Wicked Wednesdays and All Access and my show.
And I am going to pop this poster up because I am very proud of my Jeremy. We showed this on Nathaniel's show too. Jeremy is not on the poster, unfortunately. I think he should be, but he's not yet. But this one, tell him what it is, Jeremy, because I know I can't read the whole poster.
So the Paranormal Truth Seekers Expo is in Nashua, New Hampshire at the Sheraton Hotel. It's going to be a one-day event on August 1st where you're going to be able to see all these wonderful people between Nathaniel Elwell, who's a good friend of mine, and, the other half of the originators of Wicked Wednesdays, and the Rackle's going to be there. Mr. Haunted, who's been on my show before, Carl Johnson, Charles Rosney, and Samaya and Rob Goutreau, as well as several other people who are going to be vending. I'm going to be a vendor. I'm going to be having a booth of Twisted Tales for the first time, amazingly so. That wonderful logo behind me. I have the table banner set up. I've got all sorts of cards. Anybody who wants to come out, give me the contact info. I'd love to have you on the show. For me, I'll have anybody on the show. I'm working on getting anything from magicians to other things I've already got in the works that I'm working on the side. I really have put a focus on independent horror films and actors and production companies that I really want to start getting involved in that because I enjoy all of that too. The paranormal is definitely where my heart started, and that's where the show started. And I got a lot more paranormal people coming in, but I want to mix it in. I got a bunch of wrestlers coming in to do some roundtable stuff of independent guys that I've worked with in the past. And we're going to have all sorts of people who are fanatics about all sorts of things. But you know what? The Paranormal Truth Seekers thing, you guys have Gettysburg this weekend. We're going to be doing the whole stuff for the network. I'm going to be representing the network. I even have All Access Network stickers and Wicked Wednesday stickers. I'm going to be handing out at the event. And, it's my chance to give back to not only the Wicked Wednesdays, but to All Access Network for dragging me in and getting me involved. Because I, in the beginning, was like dragged in kicking and screaming, going, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? I just want to be a co-host for somebody. I don't want to be my own show. And next thing you know, here I am 6 months later and loving every minute of it. Honestly.
Well, I have to tell the story, Jeremy, and I know people are going to go, oh my gosh, she won't shut up. But Jeremy had been a guest on several of our shows, and he was such a good, and I told him after one of the shows, I said, man, if you ever want to do your own podcast, I know somebody, being me. And let's see, we got to go. Let's make a show called Thankful Thursday. Okay, well, we have one show right now, but we have two, but we'll talk about that later. But I told Jeremy, I was like, if you ever, and so Jeremy sends me a message and he says, hey, are you coming to Salem? And I was like, yeah, I'm coming to the Salem Paracon. That was what month was that, Jeremy?
That was November of last year, actually.
November. So Jeremy, being the gentleman or the business person, I'm not really sure how to put it. He said, well, we need to talk. And I was like, okay. And I thought, oh God, did I do something wrong? Freaky Friday. Yeah. Well, we have something on Friday too. David's being funny. But so Jeremy, we get to Salem and we had set up there and spoke as a network with everybody there that was on the network at the time. We all talked, like Nathaniel and Raven and myself and Lee, and I think it was somebody else, but I can't remember. And but Jeremy took me aside and he was talking to me. He's like, look, I want to do a podcast. And I was like, yeah, I was all happy. And that's, if you watch the intro today, that picture is actually on the intro. I went and found it.
Actually, I'm going to tweak it on you. I asked you about being a co-host. I said that I actually was considering wanting to be a co-host. And you said to me, you go, well, what about having your own show? I'm like, no, I don't know about that, but we can talk. And I said, come, like, I go, I think I remember saying to you, let's talk about it after the beginning of the year. And then I think like January 2nd, I get a message. So when are we going to start? And when are we going to call it? I'm like, I have no fucking idea what I'm going to call it. So you're like, and you told me, you said, get a notebook and write down a bunch of names. And I'm sitting there and I'm writing all these names down on shows. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at this. I'm like, this is the worst piece of shit I've ever seen. All these names don't make any sense. And I'm like, I sent them to you, and you're sitting there going, what? And then Twisted Tales was actually the original. I still have the original graphic that says Twisted Topics on it that you sent me originally. I'm like, let's try Twisted Tales and see what that looks like. And then lo and behold, you made it. I went. I had the banner printed up like immediately. I think by my third episode, I actually had the Twisted Tales banner up behind me, and we've been off to the races ever since then. And then you're like, okay, when are we gonna start? I'm like, how about at the end of the month? She's like, okay, we're gonna start on the 21st, and we're going. I'm like, all right, I guess we're doing this then. It's like crazy because I was like, oh my god.
And well, I will tell you this, that Jeremy was like, can you help me with a background or a logo, that's what you said. And I was like, yeah, absolutely, because I do most of them for the network. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, what you want? So we tried a couple of things, and that turned out great, and that was pretty quick. And honestly, he tweaked it very little, and now he's got his banner, and he's got stuff for his tables, and he's got stickers, which he's going to save me some till I see him. And he's got all access network stickers and stuff, and I'm just proud of him. And I am going to get him a banner, even though I haven't been able to yet. Being with my shoulder surgery and stuff, I kind of thought that, oh yeah, I'm gonna be fine. I'll be down a couple days. Well, it's been a struggle. So, but I'm still holding on. Yeah.
Through the majority of it, even though they were nice, you couldn't even move. You still were able to hit those buttons and get people's shows going and running everything. And trust me, we all appreciate all the hard work that you do. And it's, I know I say it more than just about it. I say it more than anybody because if it wasn't for your insistence and everything else, this wouldn't be here now. And Twisted Tales wasn't here, then Nate and I would never have come up with a collab for Wicked Wednesdays. And then we wouldn't have included Christina. And then we wouldn't have dragged Shane kicking and screaming from Mondays over to Wednesdays, where I think he's fit in perfectly here. This is where he belonged the whole time.
And I'll be real with you, Shane, if you're watching, don't get offended, but bless his heart, he had some health issues. And honestly, I think that being on Wicked Wednesday and being part of Wicked Wednesday as a team, I think that it has given him the motivation and just the energy, and you can feel it. You can feel anytime I talk to him. And he's got some guests coming. He had Larry Eisler tonight, who is a very awesome documentary filmmaker. He's got awards and stuff, and he was talking to him tonight, and he's got some really good guests. And he's gone back to this thing. He's like, look, I'm going to go back and have guests that I've had before, see what's changed, see how things are different, and it's a good idea. And it, and he's more motivated, and it's just, honestly, it's wonderful because with his health issues, I honestly think it's helping him there too, which is wonderful. So
honestly, Gwen, it is phenomenal. I'm going to say it, and I'll say with all bias, he is where he belongs on this night with all of us. He fits into the wacky family that we have over here, the Wicked Wednesdays family. We have the group chat. We always talk. We always share ideas, and like. When last week when I was on his show and we were like, yeah, let's roll it back. And then he's like, maybe I should do a series called Roll It Back where we actually bring back in guests. I'm like, dude, that's you should do it because you know something? It's different. Nobody else is doing it. Call it that. Call it your Rolling It Back series. That way it'll be yours as part of your brand. And I think it's an amazing idea for him. That's so cool. I can help stop the other countries we have a show. And I know in a few weeks I have Thomas Gormley coming on, who just finished up his first season of his profiled show, which was an amazing content created show. And I know that you guys also had the Serial Killers show that originally was on where Cryptid show was now. And it was
but it kind of ran its course. It was really good. It's called Serial Killers, Supernatural Murders, and you can go and see it on Spotify, which I'm going to get Jeremy on soon, but it's a process. But yeah, it's I have so many that it's just a hard way. I have to kind of, because a lot of folks come into the network, and that's a big deal with me, is because I take them from, I've had to coach people into being able to do it. I didn't have to coach Jeremy, though, into doing it, but I do have to let them do a little bit on their own. It's like having a, and I don't want to say a child, but you are my family. I have to show you how to do stuff and to get it out there. And Jeremy does awesome. Jeremy he will contact me in the morning and be like, or tell me tonight, like, okay, I'm looking for the poster, and I'm going to put out what do you call them?
I do my what I call my personal promo video, which is,
yes,
I'll pop on my phone. I'll do a live thing talking about my upcoming guest, and then, okay, I did that one. I get the next day, and then the official ad video that you make, which my ad video is different than just about anybody else's that I've ever seen, and which also has the amazing theme music from Danny Radical, Danny Perez, who is a great friend of mine, who created a unique, theme music for my show, which is, I have more people asking me about where they can actually get a copy of that theme music than you can probably imagine. It's just ridiculous at this point.
I'm actually going to talk to him about doing our new show. And David is being funny. If you guys hadn't, he's like, oh, everybody should have a Thankful Thursday or something like that, and then a Friday, and then a Marvelous Monday. Monday is supposed to be Mystical Monday, I believe.
Marvelous Monday. I don't know about that one.
No, I have no desire to be on 7 days a week. What am I drinking? Dr. Pepper. Everybody knows I drink Dr. Pepper and water. Dr. Pepper and water. That's
okay. That's really amazing. Oh my God. So what do you have coming up for upcoming events, Gwen? Just in case people can come out and see you, because I know that.
Okay. So this weekend coming, Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. Come out, look for me, come by, say hey. I usually am out networking, so you'll see me wandering around, taking selfies, talking to people, enjoying whatever's to come. Then the next weekend, we will actually be in a very new first year New Orleans Paracon. That's going to be insane because we are going to I don't know. It's going to be like no other thing because in New Orleans, the whole city, the whole parishes are all haunted, which is awesome. And then the very next weekend, we got 3 in a row. We've got the Deep South Paracomic-Con. If I can find my Xena costume, I will be wearing that. Plus, I will be wearing a Victorian outfit for the after party. If I can find that also, I'm having to look for stuff. So anybody, you got a Xena costume, let me know because I need one. But this one is more like our family reunion. We go down there, and I'll be real with you. All of them are awesome, but they're even going to have sword fighting. They're going to have cosplay. They're going to have horror. They're going to have paranormal. Lee is going to do her, she did a show called Repossessed where she basically took items people would bring to her. Well, she's got it out. There's an ad, and the people are going to hopefully bring her items, and troubled or not, she's going to try to explain some things. If they need to be something done to them, like binding them, we can do that. I'm sure I'll be back there to help her if she needs it. If she doesn't, we'll be watching out for her anyway, just to make sure nothing happens. But that it's going to be that now. And later this year, they're going to have MassCon also. Just wanted to mention that. Yeah, that's going to be October 2nd through the 4th. Jeremy, I don't know if you're going to get to come to that one. I know that's.
I honestly, I've been to every one of them. I haven't decided yet. I'm on the fence. I've got, I'm just, it all depends, how I'm feeling at that moment,
And I want to, and I don't have a definite on this yet, but I want to come to the main Paracon. What's the date on the main Paracon? Jeremy?
That's going to be September 12th and 13th, the main Paranormal and Horror Convention at the Augusta Civic Center. Now, am going to be speaking at that one. In a panel. I'm not sure what the panel is going to be about yet, but that's being held by my really good friends Jeffrey Woodham and Ashley Morrill, and the amazing graphics by Michael Castro. And I actually have them coming on the show the week of that Paracon on the 9th. Cool. On September 9th. We have all of them on. We're going to do a special on paranormal horror convention because it's something near and dear to my heart. I'm going to have a booth at the convention. Yes. I have a giant version of my banner behind me that's going to be 6 feet long. It has QR codes for both the YouTube channel for All Access, as well as my own Facebook page. Yes. It has an All Access Network logo at the bottom corner. But I've been working on all sorts of ideas for that one too. I haven't quite figured out everything, all the logistics on that one yet. But I've actually been working with Michael Castro to get some really cool looking tabletop displays and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. That because me, I am a go-getter. I jump on something and I'm like constantly working. I'm constantly putting the effort in because I want to do the best and represent the network and represent you, because I appreciate everything that you do for me. And I want everybody to understand that, because honestly, if it wasn't for Leatriana is the head of the company and she is the face of the place, but you're the heart and soul behind the scenes. And without you, we just don't have this. And I greatly appreciate you being on the show tonight. And of course, I get to hit you with my final question because I hit everybody with it. And it's about time that you get to answer it too.
Oh boy, I know what it is. And I've been trying, and I'm not the best horror person, but I'm going to work it through. So do it.
It's okay because something, you have plenty of stuff to work with classic monsters all the way through current time. Yep. Your top 4 horror characters. It doesn't have to be villains. It can be whatever you want, but your top 4 horror characters.
Top 4. I have to say now, this person or this character scared the shit out of me my entire childhood. Freddy Krueger. And funny enough, I have a picture with the glove, let me call it. A couple of years ago, Bill Perry, I wore his, and it's really funny. And I wish I should have loaded it up. It's me. David says it's me. Of course it's him. He does horror too. So, but yep, that is my number 1. I can never remember which one it is. It's a Stephen King one. It's about the big guy who gets real thinner. Is it thinner?
Thinner, yeah, thinner. Oh yeah.
Yep, like that. Like that one. There's also, I gotta say, since I met James Stokes, I like his character. Jason Voorhees. Yeah, yep. I gotta say it. And then, as far as the number 4, if David wants me to say him, but I'm not gonna say him. I'm gonna say, I don't know if this actually counts as horror, but Harley Quinn, and I don't know if that's horror. I don't know if that's actually horror.
It's okay. You know what? She's been a dark character both in the Suicide Squad movies as well as all the other things. So I mean, she's a darkish character, so it can go. It doesn't really necessarily have to be a horror. I've been doing horror characters because it just seemed interesting. But like Bill Perry did the heroes, the heroines, the ones who actually survive, and which I thought was a really cool and interesting way to go about going things. And because the show is Twisted Tales, it can go any way that it really wants to. So
exactly.
So if anybody needs to get a hold of you for whatever, what contact information would you like to put out there?
The best way to get a hold of me is basically my Facebook Messenger. It's Gwen Johns. You'll see this, but a whole lot cuter picture because I'll be real with you. It's a little warm in here. But you can also contact me through the All Access Facebook. Honestly, that's my best way. Of course, I have TikTok, which beware. If you look me up on TikTok, that's where I go to play and I do AI and I do crazy stuff. And I did one the other night that's a mirror of me, and it's a really good picture, but it says Southern something, and it's funny. So if you look up TikTok, just be aware. It's on Instagram. My Facebook does the instant Instagram. I don't know how that does that exactly. I've never really paid attention. I do not have a lot of the other stuff, but if all else fails and you can't get me on Facebook, and talk to Jeremy. He always has my number.
So you know what? Thank you very much, Gwen, for coming on the show this evening. It's been an amazing evening. Hey, there's Sean.
There's Sean. Sean, I gotta tell you. He said, yeah, he popped up just a minute ago. I gotta tell you, I gave you a shout out because Sean, this is Sean, guys, Eternal X Wolfpack Paranormal. He is my backup. He's the guy I call and say, Sean, help. And Sean helps. Or if I get to go to Paracons and we have a podcast, he rescues me. And I got to say, he's my buddy. We're really good friends. And I'll be real with you. You know, couldn't do it without him. Could not do it without him because when I need somebody, he's there. And he's going to come on. I don't know what date, but I know he's coming on Jeremy's show and he's going to have his on whole hour. So I got to give it out one more time. Sean Ellis. He makes it. Much.
Gwen, it's been an honor having you on this evening. Doing amazing, always you around. Jeremy's the 9th episode of Twisted Tales, and see you around, everybody. Have a good evening.